Something
That's
like that?
right.
Yeah.
Akira was 26, maybe?
No, Takashi was
Akira
26.
Takashi was 26.
Look, all I know is Michael Jordan's 23, alright? So that's all I care about.
Hell yeah. Just the GOAT, baby.
Michael Jordan.
LeBron who?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Anime Summit Podcast! And it's your favorite host with the most, Sam the Bomb. Oh, actually, Sam the Turkey Tom, because it's almost Thanksgiving. And with me, of course, is Danny's.
Big people like you shouldn't have these powers.
And Nick.
Oh, Canada, my home and sacred land.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
That's the main character, Canada.
Anyway,
Honestly, you should have just went with the lighthouse thing.
you're fired.
How many days have we been on this rock?
You're fired. And with,
Fucking
Wait,
and
I
with
said
us-
that wrong.
With us
Whatever.
tonight is a very special guest, one of my best friends of all time. The trio is complete now. Me, Drew, and the third of our trio, JP, is with us tonight. Shout out to JP.
Hey, what's up?
I was telling Danny and Nick, I was like,
Power move. He doesn't even have to quote anything.
he just goes,
Yeah, no,
hey,
I didn't
what's
have
up?"
anything ready, so I was like, all right.
All right.
He doesn't use quotes like a crutch like me and Danny.
Freaking, well, because like I was telling Drew, like, hey, you gonna be on this app? And JP was like, dude, you should let me be on an app. What the fuck? Fuck Drew. And I was like, you're right. Drew's stupid.
That's not what I said at all. I said I'm very excited for Drew to be on a podcast, and then I sort of passive-aggressively was like, I think I should be on one too. I think that'd be good, but whatever. I don't think I'm good enough. Whatever.
No, but
So basically, Drew got scared. It's like a wrestling match. Drew chickened out. But
Yes.
there's gonna be a showdown later.
in all honesty,
Yeah,
though,
there's
Oh
gonna
my
be
god,
like a
we should
ladder
have
match.
them on a waifu like.
Dude,
contest.
we should have Drew as the MC, like has like a judge, and then like the rest of us do like a SmackDown thing, like anime SmackDown, and he judges shit based on stuff he doesn't even know.
we
That'd be sick.
we should do another
And it'll be
SmackDown.
like cutting like promos.
We should be doing another SmackDown app soon, because the first
Oh yeah,
one was,
what did we do? Waifus?
we did
first
waifu
time?
SmackDown
Yeah.
the first time, yeah. But no, for real though, JP is like I always credit myself as the movie slut on this podcast, and Danny too. But like literally, JP is the cinephile, like probably one of the best ones I know, other than like Mario and my other vodcast host Joel, who I did Cards in Hand with. Those three are the guys that you go to for movies, and like I think JP will really break down our main topic, which is Akira from 1988. And you're probably going,
But first, we have to ask this question: how long have we been on this rock?
okay.
There you go.
So you're probably wondering,
Wait, what did he think about the lighthouse, though? We need to get that answer.
Nope, shut up. Nobody cares. So you're
What about
probably
Parasite?
Nobody cares. You're probably wondering, Sam, why didn't you review this on your birthday when the movie came out? Well, because we fucking forgot. But I'll tell you what.
But it takes place in 2019. That's why we're doing it.
It does.
It's towards the end of 2019, so we have to get it in right now. That's why we're doing it. Booyah. So that being said, we're gonna talk about that later. Get all of the breakdowns and themes and thematic elements, the wonderful work that Katsuhiro Otomo did. But first, really quick right here, we're gonna take a small break. Boom, check that out for me, okay? And always, links.animesummit.net. You can find every link right there. Instagram, Discord, Twitter's on there. And our Patreon's not on there yet, but patreon.com/animesummit, you can go there. Become a patron today. And if you become a $1,000 tier, I will send a jar of my toenails. That's for you.
Oh.
If you do a $1,000 tier...
And if you want to wash down those toenails, you should buy some Sherry's berries.
I thought we were done doing Sherry's
Right?
berries.
Are we done doing that? Okay.
No,
You
because
don't buy Sherry's
You gotta
berries.
come up with some new material there, Nick.
Me undies.
I thought we
The
were
San
doing
Francisco
Nick Recruiter.
Nick Recruiter.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's a good one.
Zip. Recruiter.
There you go. But yeah,
You could do like
Shout out to Bill Burr,
Mickey's
the
Razors.
greatest. No, the greatest. What do you call it? Commercial guy. Anyway,
commercial guy. Also,
he's a comedian, but
Also,
Yeah.
get us to 100 reviews, please. If you go on iTunes and leave us a review or any other place where you can leave a podcast review, once we get to 100 reviews, we're going to throw down for y'all.
dude, we're catching up to other anime podcasts, probably.
No, I'm fairly certain we are, actually. And that's...
We're like JP, you're sweet JP, and we're your car right now. And you're putting in the
Absolutely.
NOS, and we're
yeah,
just
JP,
like,
you've seen that,
we're just
right?
like,
Yeah, me and Nick were talking about it
yeah,
earlier.
Redline, yeah.
that's what I
Sweet
keep
JP.
calling. I put the Redline GIF. I'm like, we're sweet JP.
Yeah.
I'm flipping all the switches, activating turbos and stuff.
If you don't
Aren't they racing on like the moon?
cosplay as
They're
Sweet
racing on
JP,
Robo World.
Robo World.
That's so sick.
Well, there's like
It is
nuclear
sick.
shit going on, and another like mini Akira, basically.
Pretty much that's...
God damn, I need to rewatch that.
Yeah, I need to do actually too. Like, I'm down to rewatch that right now.
What's better, Redline or Akira? SmackDown.
SmackDown, let's go. Speaking of other podcasts, though, I again guested on the Project Manga podcast on their last tangential tie-ins episode for season 1 of their podcast. So you can go over there and check it out. You can go to their YouTube, and in their YouTube descriptions, they always have the link trees, and you can join the Discord as well. Project : M period A period N period. It's like a, what do you call it? Acronym? Project Manga. Go there. And I guested on the episode of Tangential Tie-ins, the evolution of shonen storytelling. And I also guested along with the other Anatuber, Sensei Leglove. And oh my god, dude, Sensei Leglove
Dude, that
so
is
funny.
a sexy sounding name, right
Dude,
there.
he's really funny, and he does a lot of One Piece content, but he does other anime stuff too, and he's really cool. We had a really sweet conversation about shonens over there, so please go check that out. Please check out the Project Manga podcast. Show some love, okay? Show some love. Shout out to Noxie. Shout out to Kiko. Shout out to Vengeful Eagle. Shout out to Sensei Leglove. Let's get into it. Akira from 1988. Waifu and Husbando. Waifu of the week is Kay, because she's
She's
hot.
practically the
Kay,
only girl.
she's the main girl, right? The
Wait, she's
the
the
love
revolutionary
interest.
girl?
Yeah.
The revolutionary.
Yeah.
Yeah, she rules.
She's sweet, yeah. And then, of course, Husbando of the hour is Kaneda.
What? Not Tetsuo?
Tetsuo!
We should have made the waifu and husbando Kaneda and Tetsuo.
Nick, shut up! God.
Which one would be the bottom though?
Oh,
Tetsuo.
Should have
Tetsuo
made it
for
the
sure.
two little
Tetsuo, because
two little freak kids.
He's a little bitch.
He absorbs the other guy. So yeah, these were pretty obvious waifu and husbando Kaneda and Kay. Yep, I agree.
And also, I will mention too that we did do on the manga book club. The first thing we did was Akira. So like, if we're not gonna, I'm not gonna reference the manga too much here. I probably will, like, here and there, but not so much. We're not gonna like do be doing like a full on comparison really. But like, if you want to hear what we thought of there, you can listen to me and other Discord members in the manga book club talk about
Me
that
too.
on our YouTube.
The
Oh, yeah, Danny
the
was there,
manga
too.
cover or the movie covers like 2 or 3 chunks of the manga. Is that right?
So
and then the story
manga-
goes
so
after the movie too.
The movie in itself is the first volume and a couple pages of the last volume of volume 6.
It basically, yeah, because
But then, isn't there more story after the movie?
No.
Like the movie ending.
no,
so
yeah,
Oh,
kind
the
of.
okay.
movie, the
I got conflicting
movie,
reports.
the movie was released while the manga was still going. The
Yeah.
manga didn't end until 1990.
The manga took like 8 years to make, basically.
Well, they were releasing it in.
Well,
they
they
were
released
releasing
it
it
in
in Young Jump
1982.
Weekly.
Yeah, that's why I said it took
Yeah.
8 years to make.
Yeah. So the thing is I like to say that the manga is divided in 2 halves, and that's before the second explosion and after the second explosion. So like, basically the movie covers the before part and then adds its own ending. And actually,
Yeah, that's what I said. So
yeah.
in the manga, they go further past into like a Mad Max world type
right,
thing,
but
right?
that makes it seem like that the movie is not done, but the movie is done. That's what.
Well,
that's
the
why
movie has an ending. It ends the arc, and then there's another arc.
there isn't another arc. The movie is the way it
Right.
is, and that's it.
No, I'm
movie-
talking about in the manga, right? So in the manga, don't they go further past that explosion, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
That's what I've been saying the whole
It's
fucking
the
time.
in-between.
Right, but you
So-
say things stupid, so I have to correct people.
No, I
because-
don't.
Yeah,
Okay,
you don't know what you're
whatever.
talking. No, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. Okay.
Not
anyway.
only that, but like, I can't remember whose video I watched this in, but the movie itself is pretty much its own adaptation, and then there's the manga adaptation. So they're two separate things. Otomo.
And then there's a TV show coming out soon.
Oh, no way.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, you
even
guys
know
didn't hear about that?
I thought it was a movie.
And new anime project. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what that. I don't know what that's about. I was talking about.
I
the live
thought it was
action.
going to be a TV show, and it's like, well, that's fine. Or maybe it might be like an ONA or OVA type thing too.
I'd be
So
A
excited to
TV
see what
show
that
would
is.
probably be
Um,
better.
but
Like,
yeah,
don't do another movie.
basically,
It's not 100% confirmed what it is.
the movie. The movie. Just to give some background information, it is the studio is Tokyo Movie Shinsha. Came out in 1988 on my birthday, and it was directed by Katsuhiro Otomo, who also authored and illustrated the manga. And
What else has he done? That's like all he's done is Akira, right?
Well, no, he also did a
No.
Domu and Steam Boy.
And Steam Boy.
Oh, that's right. He did
Oh,
Steam
yeah,
Boy.
And then
Yeah.
he also
Steam Boy.
did one of the shorts in that what was it? Shoot. Hold on, I forgot what it was called. He did a short in that one anime film that has 3 shorts in it. And then he also did Robot Carnival.
Oh, Robot Carnival. Well, he did the opening and ending for that. Yeah, I need
Yes.
to watch Robot Carnival one of these days.
Yeah, and the cover for Steam Boy, it looks like it's the exact same as the cover for Akira. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that movie was also incredibly expensive. Actually, more expensive than Akira.
Really?
Yeah. This came out in 2004,
Yeah.
so they added all kinds of extra shit.
Yeah,
Like,
Akira was the most expensive movie at the time, and then it took until I think it was Spirited Away for another anime movie to eclipse it.
Princess
Yeah.
Princess
In terms of
Mononoke.
budget.
Yeah. Spirited Away beat it by like a hair.
Because Akira's budget was like 1.1 billion yen, which is like $9 or $10 million, and
Yeah.
Spirited Away was a bit more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was based on the manga, but then like Danny said earlier, the manga was still technically going when they were making it, so it's kind of like its own thing. And then but you can buy it in 6 volumes, 6 trade back volumes, and they're really awesome. Shout out to Sen for sending me a copy of the first volume. I fucking love it. It's so amazing.
I have the first 3 volumes.
Yeah, they're kind of hard to find. Those ones the ones me and Danny are referring to, but yeah,
Right Stuff has it on sale.
Right
if
Stuff.
you
Oh,
go to
Right Stuff is really good
yeah
for buying
that's
anime
where-
like hard copies and stuff.
Yeah. Although if you go to Barnes and Noble, they're there as well. I've seen the same copy that I have in Barnes and Noble.
JP, have you read the manga or no?
No, not at all.
Oh,
you
dude,
I haven't either. I need to read it.
Ooh,
Dude,
you should.
You should.
I've been on the
Yeah,
anime
I
podcast
remember-
for like 4 years. And I'm like, I don't read manga.
But yeah, whoever wants to, Nick, do you want to summarize? Give a summary?
Oh, I thought you were gonna do that.
Oh, I can do it. Yeah,
do
that's
it.
fine.
I can just read it.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
So we combined. What did we do? We Frankenstein 2 summaries together from Wikipedia and Anime News Network. So
Yes.
the summary is as follows: on July 1988, a singularity destroys Tokyo. By 2019, Tokyo is rebuilt. Known as Neo Tokyo, it is plagued by corruption, anti-government protests, terrorism, and gang violence, and is on the verge of collapse. A top-secret child with amazing powers of the mind breaks free from custody and accidentally gets a motorcycle gang involved in the project. The incident triggers psychic powers within one of the members, Tetsuo, and he is taken by the army and experimented on. His mind has been warped and now on the path of war, exacting revenge on society that once called him weak. So yeah, Akira is kind of like a cyberpunk. It's kind of like a representation of like post-war Japan, or like a metaphor for it a little bit, with the the atomic bombs that were dropped on the Hiroshima and Nagasaki, because you got Akira kind of represents that, and they go through the movie is just what was just said there. It's like gang violence, political corruption, military coups, and tons of violence. protest riots, religious fervor, and all that. So
The way I see
pretty
it,
cool.
the way I see it in the movie and in the manga is like there's what I see is there's 4 factions, right? Not they're not like official in the anime, but like just how I see it. There's the gangs, there's the government, there's the cultists or the revolutionaries, and then there's the fucking regular people just trying to fucking live. And like all of that combined, you got the revolutionaries trying to
I think the cultists are different from like the protesters.
yeah, because like some of the protesters are just straight up like no, fuck the government, and then there's
Yeah, because I remember because I watched it on Blu-ray or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like whenever they had a sign, the subtitles would say what the sign said, and they'd be like, like no more imperialism, stuff like that.
yeah.
Whereas the cultists were like, please bathe us in your sacred fire or whatever.
They were trying to, well, because some of the protesters and cultists like kind of worked hand in hand. They were kind of like, we know you're hiding something. That explosion wasn't an atomic bomb. It was Akira. And we know you're hiding him. Like, tell us the truth about Akira. And some of the, like, the fucking revolutionaries, actually our waifu of the week, Kay, is one of them. She's one of the people trying to break into like they're trying to break into the fucking facilities and break out the children who have the Akira wave or whatever.
Yeah, and that's like kind of a weird thing is they never really explain like, I guess
In the movie, they
mission
don't.
or in the movie, like what like the revolutionary purpose of breaking out like the kids are, but I guess whatever.
I always
It's
just assumed it
background
was
info.
because I always thought that them and the protesters kind of went hand in hand, and I always just assumed it was because they want to expose the truth about Akira and stop fucking with children, and like we deserve to know like why why Tokyo is in the state it is now, and you guys
Yeah.
are hiding that shit like Area
Okay.
51, But like,
I'm sure it goes into greater detail in
The
in the
cultists-
manga.
The cultists are going to do the Naruto run through.
Yeah.
through the sub-level B8.
I love
or
that
whatever.
one cultist with like the beads and the hat
The big hair.
or the
or
hair,
whatever.
whatever that
Yeah.
guy is. Yeah.
he is like a fucking like
Miyako.
Well, that's actually not a man. That's a woman.
no, but in the movie it was it was a dude.
I know they portrayed her as a dude, but in the manga, she's
He's like getting carried around by like on a what are they
But
called?
yeah, in the manga, it's
Pedestal or
Miyako, Lady
something.
Miyako. But anyway, yeah, no. So the way like it starts is the two gangs, the capsules and the clowns, they're gonna meet in the streets and they're gonna fight. And one of the main character, Kaneda, his best friend, like the kid he grew up with, Tetsuo, is also in the gang. And as they're fighting the clowns and driving through the city on their motorcycles, Tetsuo accidentally runs into one of the Akira children, Takashi, number 26 is what they call him, as he was being, he got broken out of by like a revolutionary, and then he ran on his own, and Tetsuo ran into him with his bike, and naturally Takashi put up a force field, and Tetsuo crashed into the force field. And then the government took Tetsuo away because now he's been exposed, and they have to test him to make sure if the Akira wave awakened in him, and it did. And Tetsuo, now having known this, he wants to know more, and he's just like, he wants to know who Akira is. All these memories of all the other children are flooding into his head. Akira's flooding into his head, and he's like, I'm fucking powerful now, and society and Kaneda has beaten me down so much, and now I'm just gonna fucking fight back and destroy all of you, and I'm gonna become a god and fuck all of you people. And that's like, and then Kaneda's basically just like, okay, well, you're still a little bitch to me, so I'm gonna, like
Yeah, because they're friends and buddies, and
yeah, they're
you know,
childhood
yeah, it's sort of
friends.
like
together and all
a like a big brother little brother thing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like Tetsuo's like, oh, I'm just as tough as you or whatever.
Yeah.
Kaneda's always like, hey, I'm here to save you and shit.
yeah, and you
So
find
I
out
don't
right
need to be
away that
saved.
Tetsuo covets Kaneda's bike. He's got that the iconic red,
Oh yeah,
whatever you call it. It's like a crazy futuristic motorcycle.
Yeah, all the motorcycles look pretty sweet, but the red one is the best one. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially in the early scenes of the movie, you see those red light trails when they're like chasing
oh, that
the
was
gang.
so
And
sick.
It's like
the
you see
brake lights,
the
like,
cityscape in the
streaking.
background. Yeah, and that was all hand drawn. Like the whole movie is hand drawn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you see a little bit of their relationship, where like he likes his bike, or Tetsuo likes Kaneda's bike. Don't want to be confusing. And
Yeah, it's not like a jealousy thing, but it's like a role model thing.
he admires,
Canada's got
yeah.
the coolest fucking bike.
Yeah.
yeah, and he's got the pill jacket too, so that the iconic one. And then like, we've all seen like the posters of the bike skid where you're skidding away from the camera, like directly away from it.
Yeah.
And tons of other pop culture media has imitated that. Like The Simpsons have done it. Like pretty much everything has done it. So,
It was definitely
it's pretty cool.
really inspired for Western films.
I think Akira itself is like, it's such a cult classic. It's inspired. It's like it's very relevant in pop culture. And Nick,
it's probably the most important anime for modern anime fandom, as far as like the first like milestone
right.
for modern anime fandom. Because of course there's anime before Akira, in the 60s and 70s, and even before that. But like
the late
as
80s
far as like
and
what
90s was pretty much like the
that-
golden age.
That's what was like the explosion that came over to the West, to America, and like manga entertainment like brought Akira over, and then people were like, "Whoa, this isn't a kid's cartoon. I thought all cartoons were Disney." And you're seeing people like getting fucking exploded and like body horror and stuff. And
I remember seeing
and,
like TV infomercials for Akira, because at first they wouldn't sell it in the store. You had to order it through this infomercial, and like it would show a couple scenes here and there, and like it was like absolutely not for children, and you had to have your parents order it for you. And it's like,
yeah, and then on the other hand, you had like Legend of the Overfiend was just sitting on the shelf and Blockbuster or whatever. It's like, whatever.
yeah,
That and
Wicked
Fist
City.
of the North Star.
Yeah, Fist of the North Star, and everyone's heads is just blowing up like. Like, but yeah, no,
Giant babies walking around in this movie is too violent.
giant babies walking.
Dude, if it doesn't have a giant baby, I don't want to see it. Okay,
But like,
Spirited
so,
Away, you're good.
So like Nick actually posted this podcast earlier called Greatest Movie Ever Podcast, which I love. If you've never heard of the Greatest Movie Ever Podcast, you should listen to it. It's really cool.
He reviewed this with his mom.
Dude, it was awesome. That's such a cool idea. And he had like a contest for it, and it was like you listeners have to watch it with your mom, and then like if you do, I'll enter you in a drawing to win like the Akira soundtrack I have on CD. And then it was really funny actually. But yeah, he reviewed it with his mom, and it was a shorter episode, but it was really cool. But one of the things he says in the beginning is like, a lot of podcasts like won't like review Akira because either it's like you've already seen it or you're just never gonna watch it. And I think like because it's the end of 2019, that's why we wanted to do it, but also because it's Akira and we haven't yet, and we just should. But like honestly, like without like taking you through the whole movie, it just really should be watched. Like it just like it's such.
Yeah,
there's so many
whether
memories.
you're an anime fan or not, really, because it's a big pop culture like beacon.
That's what
like
I was
Star
gonna say.
Wars.
Yeah,
Exactly. It goes beyond just being like, oh, I love anime. It's
Didn't Roger Ebert rank it as like the top one of his top films to see or something like that?
He gave it his
I think he
famous
did.
thumbs up twice.
There you go.
Once
yeah.
and
Whoa,
once
2 thumbs up?
The 2 thumbs up.
once when the
insane.
original dub came out, and then the second time when the 2001 dub came out.
Whoa, there's 2 dubs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's the streamlined dub and then the one with John Young Bosch.
yeah.
Which is the Funimation one?
John Young
Probably the
Bosch.
John Young Bosch.
John
Yeah,
Young Bosch.
streamlined
Okay,
is
that's the one
other
that I
company.
watched.
Shout out to
Um,
JYB.
And yeah, like it's really funny though, like listening to the audio of this, because like especially like I watched it subbed this time because I've seen I don't remember which dub I watched, but anyway, I saw a dub a long time ago, and like the audio, so like the visuals of Akira, we can all agree are incredible. Like you have the most
Well, it's hand-drawn.
cells in any anime.
And they also did it in
It's
24
Like you can tell
frames
they
per
just
second.
threw money at
There's
it.
450,000 cells in the movie, and
Yeah.
there's 160,000 individual pictures, which is like 2 to 3 times as much as most anime movies. Because because
And
they
like they
animated
didn't
this on
skimp on
ones.
background either.
Yeah,
Like,
and
Oh,
like
no.
there's
all the backgrounds
layers
are
and
animated
layers.
and shit.
And
Every
layers of
little
background.
detail was really thought out and
Yeah.
drawn out very thoroughly.
One guy, I forgot his name. I'd have to Google it again. But some guy opened his own like private museum for Akira cells and artwork because that's how much
sick.
artwork is in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so you have like these really incredible like visual artwork, but then the sound effects for me personally, I don't know if the version I watched, but like the sound effects just don't match the the visuals. Is that just me?
I thought they were fine. Like what's an
Like they're
example?
fine, but
notice
like
anything.
modern sound
The
effects
sub-
sound so much better though. I'm
Yeah,
not trying
okay.
to like nitpick, but
Yeah, no, I think I know what you're talking about because I have the movie on Blu-ray, and the one that I have has both the 2001 dub and also the original dub and the sub. So the one, I actually didn't watch it on my Blu-ray, but I watched it. I was lazy and I watched it on Hulu. And I watched the sub first because I've seen both the 2001 and the original. And I definitely can agree with Nick that some of the sound effects didn't really match up too much.
I don't know why that is. That's just
Yeah.
interesting to
Product
know.
of
Yeah,
the
like
time,
they
maybe.
were there. I think one scene that I can definitely tell that they kind of missed on the sound effect was when Tetsuo was getting a migraine when he like escaped and stuff, and he like collapsed to the ground, and like you know how like sometimes
Oh, he's trying to pick up his organs.
yeah, like some animators would like either make that weird crunchy noise or whatever when you collapse to the ground and stuff, and they did not do that in there.
There was just nothing, right? It was
Yeah,
just
there
silent.
was like it was silent.
Which
Oh.
sometimes
Yeah,
that
no, I
silence
thought
is
that
good,
was
though.
like
It could be intentional.
Yeah, an intentional, like, because at that point he's like falling on the ground, seeing his shadow like collapse into ruin and picking up his guts.
Oh,
I
that
thought it
so
was
good.
supposed to be like,
Because it
you know,
was
oh,
in his
he's losing
mind,
it.
so it
yeah,
didn't
that's
technically
true.
happen.
Yeah, I suppose.
So like I've seen all of them, all the versions, but the first time I watched it is I have the VHS tape that was made by Orion Home Video, and it was a streamlined dub, and the front cover it just says Akira, Neotoka is about to explode in gross yellow letters on top, and
such a good tagline.
yeah, it is.
Tokyo's about to explode.
And it's a Kaneda on his bike running like coming toward you, and the city's behind him. And it has the not for kids sticker on it actually. But then I also
That means kids are gonna buy it.
That means kids are gonna buy it.
Yeah,
Then
no
I also
kidding.
have the 2001 DVD version with the new dub, and but yeah, I actually really
With
want that
Vash the
Blu-ray one.
Stampede.
So I'm actually really curious though to hear JP's like take on the themes and like his takeaways from it, just because I'm like I love the way he breaks it down, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like the major thing going through it, or at least that I thought, was like the relationship between like Kaneda and Tetsuo. And Tetsuo is sort of like the little picked on brother, you know, kind of shrimpier than Kaneda, and Kaneda is like I don't know, your typical like hero boy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got the cool bike, but like, so Tetsuo, who, I don't know, is he like 14?
Yeah, they're about middle school age.
That's what I figure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tetsuo's like doing his best in the beginning, the chase or whatever, trying to like prove himself to Kaneda with like, you know, going through that fire thing, like the fire suppression stuff after he had stopped, and then getting, you know, smashing into it or whatever, and getting the final clown guy. But then, yeah. So when he like crashes and gets taken to the thing, like you start to see like, even though Kanedo's picking on Tetsuo so much, like, you know, hey, get your head in the game, you'll never be able to handle my bike or whatever. Like after that, he like, you can see that he like super cares for him and stuff. And like, so the scene where they're at their like bad kids school,
Yeah.
and like, I guess his girlfriend or something was like talking and was like, what's the deal with that Tetsuo kid? Where'd he go? Who cares? Or something like that. And he's like, "Ugh, I'm sick
Sorry.
of you flirting with me. Get the hell out of here, you know?"
Right.
And he'd like, I don't know, basically says like shove off or whatever. But like you start to see that like he's like, yeah, he's worried where like, you know, his sort of like adopted little brother went. So then he goes and tries to rescue him and stuff. But by this time, Tetsuo has acquired like power where, you know, basically he views like he can save himself and everything. And he's, you know, at Kanada's level or whatever, or beyond it later. But like you see when he steals like the bike and he takes off with the bike, and the girl who I cannot remember her name.
Kyrie.
Kyrie?
Oh, the
Kyrie.
really skinny girl, yeah.
Yeah. He takes off with her, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna just drive off and blah 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 or whatever." And then they run into the gang, and he's like, you know, acting tough and all that stuff. But like, even though he stole Canada's bike, he's like, I mean, there's like, his line is something like, "I'm gonna kill you if you touch that bike," or
Oh
something.
yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
if you make one scratch on that bike, I'll kill you, or something like that.
Right, yeah. Like, there's like a super sort of like deep respect he has where, I mean, you can see he's like trying to like prove himself in some way. And then, I mean, later his power kind of goes to his head, and he goes psycho mode.
Goes AWOL.
Sicko mode.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, and then when Canada and Kay go to rescue him, and he's like, "Ah, ha, 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 ha. You thought I needed rescued? Sorry, Canny."
Yeah.
And he's like, just like a prick little kid who has a lot of power.
Yeah.
But then at the end, you see, like, when he's kind of, like, transforming into that just sort of, like, apocalyptic, like, mass. He's like, I forget what the line was.
He starts
but it was
screaming
something
for
like,
Canada to help him.
Yeah, he's like, "Canada, help me."
Yeah.
And I mean, he can't at that point.
Right. I think that's very important. That's one of the very most like important parts of the story, is Tetsuo feeling like he was being looked down upon as he was the weakest, and which he kind of was, you know, in ways.
Mhm.
And then when he finally acquires this, there's something to be said about being responsible when you acquire something like that. And he just doesn't care. He's just like, "Nope, I'm gonna pay back everybody, whoever was condescending to me, whoever fucked me over, whoever pisses me off or talks back to me, I'm gonna fucking blow them up," right?
Oh, I think also when I was rewatching it, one of the things I thought was like interesting was like, so he went to the hangout, the Haruki Club or
Oh,
whatever,
the little bar, yeah, that they hang out at
the little
beginning,
bar
yeah.
where he sold capsules, and he's like, "Give me some capsules and stuff."
Yeah,
And it seemed just like, you know, a kid like being like, "Hey, I'm an adult now," you know what I mean?
yeah,
And he's like, and then when shoot, what's his name? Katagawa,
yeah,
the biker who gets killed.
yeah.
Oh,
he's,
Yamagata.
Yamagata.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. Yep.
Yeah. He's like, I mean, he's like taking fistfuls of these just drugs, and it seemed just like, you know, I guess like the adults or whatever, like the grown-ups take this, and so now he is, because he has, you know, the power over a grown-up.
Good
Right.
for health, bad for education.
Well, those
Yeah,
they don't
which is
say it
such
in
a
the movie,
sick
but
thing to
like
say.
people in gangs on the streets and stuff, they take like one to get super fucking high.
Right,
then
and you can
he-
see he's like going into like psychosis from it.
Right, but like those pills are actually to help their body to be able to withstand the ever growing Akira flow inside of them.
Is that what they were?
That's
'Cause
they
I know
don't
that,
say
like-
it in the film, but yeah, that's what they are. And because like
Well, it
I
kind
know
of
that's what the-
represents the deformations and mutations of post-war Japan. You know, where everyone's getting the radiation sickness.
yeah,
That's kind of what this is.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Sort of.
So there's sort of like iodine pills,
kind
or
of.
something
Yeah,
like
he
that.
gets he gets headaches if he doesn't take them.
Yeah, I didn't know they were the same thing, because I know he was like, I need pills or whatever for his headache while he was at the medical facility.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if capsules were the same. I figured they were just like speed or something.
Yeah.
It's just a placebo. Turns out. It's
Yeah,
just
like it
sugar.
doesn't work.
It's like, oh, they're so expensive now.
But no, I'm
And
glad
he's just like filling like granulated sugar into these little things.
yeah, it's
Hey,
like-
placebos work.
no, dude, like in
I'm telling
the birdcage, and he's like, "What are purine tablets? What are you giving him drugs for?" And he's like, "It's aspirin with the A and S scratched off." And he's like, "That's brilliant." He's like, "I know." It's just like pure placebo. It's like,
Dude,
they don't really
placebo
do
effect
anything.
is a real thing.
No, yeah, it
It
definitely
yeah.
is. Yeah.
It's weird.
Dude, there's a real thing where, like, I forgot who it was, some guy or person, they do this voodoo where, like, it's like cosmic healing energy where they're, like, whooshing their hands over, like, your injured body part and it heals faster.
Was that like Ray K?
It might be. But
Like
it
Reiki or
actually
Reiki, yeah.
does, like, kind of work. Like, just because you believe it's going to work. I don't
Right.
know. It's
It's like
crazy.
hypnosis.
Yeah.
So JP, what do you think are like some themes that you take away from it?
I mean, like the first one is like, I mean, like Nick was saying that it's like clearly like in very like direct relation to like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which is like Japan. Japan has like a very, I guess, intimate like view on, you know what I mean? Like not to diminish like the tragedy of it, but like it's
That's what
I
I
don't
mean.
know how
That's
I
what
would phrase
Godzilla is, really. It's the
Right,
it's
right.
the atomic bomb, right?
yeah. So it's something that like is sort of like, I feel like it's hard to understand if like you haven't like directly experienced it or like, you know, historically experienced it. But definitely got that vibe from it, especially with sort of like the anti-imperialist like protests and stuff, which then went on to like a military coup. I mean, you kind of imagine that's leading to an imperialist type thing. And then, you know, the second, what is it called? What did they call it? The second explosion?
Explosion?
I think it was that.
The second impact.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
what
call it
Yeah,
second.
and then the third impact, and that was coming up too.
That's so cool to see how like anime evolves over the years and like decades because this Akira was, I don't know if it wasn't like necessarily paying homage, but like the Otomo's one of his favorite anime was Tetsujin 28 or Gigantor
Oh, really?
from the
Yeah.
60s. So like
Yeah.
a lot of the like the big sci-fi anime creators of like the 80s grew up on the anime of the 60s, obviously, and stuff from that era. So they pulled from there and made it a little, you know, their own version of it. And then we're pulling from them.
Otomo.
And then people are pulling from, and now we're pulling from like Little Sister, Dating Simulator, Trapped in Another World shit. So
Otomo named Tetsuo and Kaneda after, I think, characters from Gigantor.
yeah.
That's cool.
So
Yeah,
Um,
and
Do you know
also
if-
Tetsuo is
have you
number
ever
28, I believe, out of the children.
No.
no, he
Akira-
wasn't.
no,
Akira was 28.
the little
Yeah,
boy was.
Akira
Oh, that's
is
right.
something
That's
like that.
right.
Yeah.
Akira was 26, maybe.
No, Takashi
No,
was
Akira
26.
Takashi was 26. Kyoko,
Look, all I know is Michael Jordan's 23. All right, so that's all I care about.
Hell yeah, that's the goat, baby.
Michael
LeBron, who? No, I'm just kidding.
LeBron.
We just lost half our patrons.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, dude. It's a great fucking film, man. Oh, fucking.
I don't know, man.
Sam's just
What-
like fucking Akira. Fucking.
What were your thoughts on it?
I think it's for its time, man. It's just so revolutionary in terms of animation and story, and like the themes I took away from it were definitely like, you know, corruption and greed. Because then also you have this other like fucking third party over here, Nezu.
Oh, I forgot about
Oh,
him.
Nezu
He's
means
playing
rat.
like both sides. He looks like a rat too.
Yeah, he. Fucking,
I also know that from Magic the Gathering, Nezumi Grave Robber.
Okay.
Oh, really? Nazumi Graham? I know that card.
Are they fucking ninja rats, dude?
Yeah, dude, ninja
Okiba
rats.
Gang Shinobi.
That's what I'm saying. Ink eyes.
Yeah, dude, they were the shit. But no, like Nezu, like he is like his company is like funding the research in the children or whatever, and
I think it was just like the government itself, not even his company.
Right,
I think
right.
It's just a high.
But then he was also pretending to be like one of the leaders of like the revolutionaries.
Yeah, because what's his name came to him and he's like, "I'm sorry, I failed."
Yeah, Ryu did. Yeah, or they called him Roy in the Streamline dub. But
Oh, really?
yeah, they called him
Yeah.
Roy.
That
Where's
stinks.
Marth?
Yeah, Roy. But yeah, like and he is kind of like two-timing bitches, and his plan is to just like, you know, set some shit off and then take a bunch of money and run. But
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
a
he had a
question.
safe full of money.
yeah, actually,
Yeah, the
let's throw
safe
down
full of money
questions
and
because I know people have
documents.
questions. Like, there's so many questions.
Did
Well, we
Nessie-
got to talk
did
about
he-
that ending scene later on. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah, we definitely will. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, did Nezzy kill those folks when they were in the bathroom, like all blooded up, or did they kill themselves? I had like a hard time figuring out.
Oh, it's fuzzy for me too. I don't actually remember.
No, he definitely killed him. I think he shot him.
Did he?
I think
Okay.
he did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to say he did shoot them because he
Okay.
shot Ryu.
Yeah.
True. And then Ryu like chased him everywhere. That was weird too.
Yeah, they didn't really explain that very well. I think that's
Yeah, the
also one
movie-
of the.
The movie was a little bit, what do you call it, truncated. Like it's hard for them to fit all that story into a movie, right?
Yeah, and I think that's a
Yeah.
product of them doing it while the manga was still going. Also.
But the other thing, like all that stuff was sort of like secondary or almost even like tertiary.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't all the important plots or all the important points of the main plot were explained enough or whatever. Like Akira, the I guess force that is Akira, was explained enough where you're like, okay, so like the motives of like the secondary groups or whatever was sort of not nearly as important.
No,
It was
yeah.
just sort of like
By the
it
time
drives the plot along.
by the time Tetsuo was like running rampant or whatever, it like that shit literally didn't matter no more. Like the revolutionaries and Nezu's like crap, like that shit did not matter. Like
Yeah, I thought it was funny that like so as Tetsuo's running rampant when he gets his red cape or whatever,
gets
there's
a
like
cape.
the Akira cult following him, and then also like people who are like, is this man like the only person who's standing up against the coup? And it was like people just putting like whatever view they had on Tetsuo. And all he's trying to do is be like, I'm king shit, I'm kicking ass everywhere.
people are viewing him like this god or whatever. And
Yeah,
like
or they're viewing him as like, you know, I don't know, whatever fits their idea of what they're trying to espouse.
which
Well,
is
even
super
Kairi
creepy.
was questioning, like, why are they calling you Akira?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is super creepy. That was one of the creepy parts of the film for me. It was
The
all
little
those
kids?
No, the fucking cultist people.
Those freaks.
Cult shit scares me. Like these people are just willing to
Yeah.
die for some random dude, and it's just like,
Not even willing to die, but like begging to be burned in holy fire.
right?
Like, they weren't just like, oh, when the comet
rapture is coming.
comes. Yeah. They were like, I'm begging for a meteor to crash into the world, please.
Right. It was wild. And
Don't fuck with cults, kids. It's not good.
don't drink
Yeah,
the
that's the
Kool-Aid.
general message of the movie. That cult was fucked up.
Yeah,
Except
no,
for
it
the
did-
Anime Summit cult. Please join our Patreon, all right?
Please join our Patreon.
Absolutely. Join the compound.
But no, like that which leads to like, if we were to bring it full circle, right? Which leads back to the cult and the drugs and all that stuff. And funny enough, the next Olympic Games is going to happen in 2020. But one
I
of the
know.
big things in Akira is they're building a new Olympic stadium, and because this movie takes
Oh,
place
yeah,
in
and-
2019.
It's happening now in real life.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, Jesus.
And they're building it on the ruins of old Tokyo
yeah,
in the film, right?
yeah, and actually beneath the stadium is where Akira is sleeping, or where he
Right,
is.
and he's kept like at like .0005 Kelvin, which is like just above absolute zero.
Yeah, right. And
Which you find out like it's just his tissue
by the way,
samples.
I find it so incredibly like non-scientifical that the guys, when they went to go visit
I know
Akira's
what you're gonna say.
bomb, whatever you want to call it, all they wore was just fucking jackets.
Yeah, this is like
It's like,
neat,
oh,
man.
the
okay,
temperature
that'll
where
keep you
nothing
warm,
can move. Like molecules can't even move anymore.
Right.
Barely above that, and they're not wearing like a hat.
They're
right.
not
yeah.
wearing hats, they're not wearing gloves, no scarves, just like this simple fucking lab coat of a jacket.
Yeah, but it's cold because like it fogs when they breathe, so
yeah.
it's probably pretty cold.
Well, like also, so like yeah, that's like underneath the Olympic Stadium. So naturally, Tetsuo goes there, and he's like sitting on like this weird chair. I think they were building it for like, for aesthetic purposes.
I think actually, did he build it out of like all like the debris and
In the manga, he did.
detritus? Nick, what's that word?
Detritus.
Detritus. Thank you.
It's like a
In the
spelling
ma-
bee.
In
Detritus.
the manga, he built a throne, because in the manga, Akira actually wakes up, like he's
The
an
Iron
actual
Throne.
physical being. He's not like an entity like how the movie portrays him.
Yeah, he's very briefly shown in the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of like flashbacks or like
a
psychic
lot of flashbacks,
images.
and then when the second collateral damage bomb of light popped up.
Right,
So,
second
but in the manga, they
The human instrumentality project.
Yeah.
Got
Turn
him.
everyone
That's
into
a good
goop.
reference.
Yes, I think we should like talk about the ending scene real quick before we like talk.
Oh
about
yes, this is like one of the most iconic parts of the movie. Well, one of them. There's actually a lot of iconic imagery in here, but
So just basically the way it starts, the way the climax starts is Tetsuo is sitting on this throne, and he's like, he has already discovered that Akira is basically just pieces in a jar. Like his spine is like in one jar, and his parts of his brain are in another, and whatever. And he's disappointed. He's pissed because he like wanted to fight him. He wanted to fight Akira, And
Additionally, like the other espers, the little psycho freak kids,
yeah, the
they
kids who look
controlled
old people. Yeah.
K to like stop him.
Fucking Jamie's like, he's being so mean to the kids, and they're all just innocent kids.
No, they roll.
Yeah.
I
Fucking
love 'em.
psycho kids, man.
they're
They are
voiced
psychos.
like kids too. But they look like old people. They're
Yeah, that's
gross.
a side effect of
They
the
got
really
medication.
They're like
Yeah.
Emperor Pilaf from Dragon Ball.
Also, I like how when they were like, I don't know, trying to scare Tetsuo or something, they were like teddy bears and like a cartoon car.
Oh hell
Oh,
yeah, dude! That scene was
fucking
awesome.
creepy.
Yeah.
The
Oh my
nightmare
God.
scene or whatever. Oh
Yeah.
We should also mention that like the second half of this movie is like absolutely grotesque. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of violence,
like
a lot of body
it's
horror,
not
Violent
for
guts.
kids.
yeah.
some trippy visuals like the teddy bear and the cars and the milk.
Yeah, that was weird, swimming through milk. And it's all like, I mean, beautifully animated.
Animated on
Sorry.
ones, 1 frame per 24. So
Yeah,
it's
they-
24 frames per second, and they did a drawing per frame, which anime usually doesn't do that. Usually
Yeah,
anime is
normally they
animated on like
sort of
2s
clip
or
it short.
3s. Like TV anime a lot of time is like even on 3s.
Yeah.
So
I know, like
yeah.
the Spider-Man movie. What was it? The animated one?
into the
Into the
Spider-Verse.
universe?
Yeah. They
Into the Spider-Verse.
specifically animated it like 24 FPS, but like 6 images per second. So it had like a comic book feel.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
reading that somewhere.
yeah, the way that movie moves is amazing. It's fucking awesome. But
I need to watch that still.
yeah, well, that's one of my
It's
favorite
alright.
scenes, by the way, is when Tetsuo wakes up and murders everyone.
I
It's my
thought
favorite.
Spider-Verse was the best Marvel movie. How dare you?
Now, the best one is, I don't know, Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, that's
That
one
whatever,
is
a good
apparently.
one.
Never
We'll
seen
bring
it.
that up later.
Anyway, the freaking now at this point, Tetsuo is pissed, and the meds are wearing off. He hasn't taken any of them in a while because he just spent the last 2-3 hours, tearing
He's
up
looking
the
for
city.
meds. Yeah, he's tearing up the city looking for shit.
He
and
fought,
kills his old bartender.
Kaneda for 20-30 minutes, and then he went up into the space and destroyed a laser.
Dude, the fight scene with Kaneda was dope.
Oh, it's so good.
There's a couple of them.
They used the weapon of last resort on him, and all it did was clip his arm.
Yeah.
Because Kaneda gets this special laser cannon hip gun thing.
It's battery powered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like a backpack laser.
Well, the
and
backpack
he's
thing
just,
he's wearing is the
blasting
battery.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's blasting him with it. So
Yeah.
anyway, I started blasting.
So now
Dude, Always
Tetsuo
Sunny.
is starting
So
to feel like something that they don't explain very well in the movie. Is that the reason why the kids look the way they do, the espers look the way they do, is because it's a side effect of the medicine which the medicine is to keep their body intact while the Akira flows goes through them. Tetsuo just having this power and then overusing it a shit ton for the past fucking 4 or 5 hours, he is now, and has not taken any meds, he is now feeling the full effect of his body in every atom, every skin cell, every neuron, every regular
It's realizing its full potential, basically.
Yeah, they're evolving faster than he can, handle.
Yeah.
So
It's
Didn't Case say it was like an amoeba?
Yeah,
It was
the K was talking about how Akira is like an amoeba, and it basically that's what Tetsuo is becoming, and he's just all he knows is to devour.
Yeah, an amoeba's biological instincts within the abilities of a human or whatever.
yeah. So
And in this case, the abilities of an evolved human, an Esper or whatever.
So, of course, every character meets at the fated place. Kaneda and Kei go there. Kaori's there, which is Tetsuo's girlfriend. And then
And the military
colonel.
general, that guy was he was pretty cool in the movie.
the colonel, yeah, he's badass.
Was he different in the
even
manga?
more-
in the manga he's the same, except because of the
he's actually a little bit more of a badass, but then he starts he kind of goes rogue and defies the government and stuff like that, and he becomes this lone wolf kind of character.
I can
In this one,
respect
he
that.
did
Fuck the government.
do a military coup. So
right.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
There's
I love
also
military coups.
there's one character in the
I'm all
manga
about
that
it, man.
I wished was in
just
the
kidding.
in the movie. Sam, do you remember her name?
Her name is Chiyako.
Badass. Yes, the badass chick with the
What's her
fucking.
name?
Chiyako.
Well, anyway.
Her name's Chiyako.
Chiyako.
And
What does she do?
She fucking hits a dude with a missile, and then she launches it at him, and then he goes flying in the sky and blows up.
yeah,
Nice.
it was fucking.
She
Okay.
swings it
Cool.
like a bat, and then she fires it.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, she's badass. But yeah, no, read the manga. But so now
I can't read.
now Tetsuo now
Then listen to
Kaneda
it.
is finally just
Yeah.
he's over it. He's ready to just fucking kill his friend and be like, dude, you gotta stop. That's enough. I'm gonna fucking take you down. And the colonel's like, no, wait, I can take him back to the lab and get him medicine. He'll be fine. And it's like, nope, it's too late. So now Tetsuo starts turning into this big fucking.
baby ass thing.
It's a big amoebic
Yeah.
blob, and he looks like a
It's
baby.
just a big ass blob, dude. South Park made fun of this with Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, Jesus
you guys
Christ.
remember that?
Yeah. Anyway,
That was
so
fucking hilarious.
so
Anyway,
so he starts turning into
Wow,
what
Sam's
looks like
a Rosie O'Donnell fan. All right.
I'm not. I
Yeah.
just hate South Park. It's stupid. So anyway,
it kind of sucks.
My name's
But
John. and I
yeah,
don't
he
fun.
he lost control after he tried to reconstitute his arm after he lost it.
right.
And that sort of stirred on his sort of
it became a machine arm mixed with his flesh.
Right.
and then he couldn't stop absorbing shit.
right. So basically,
And there was a pair of testicles on the monster too. You can spot
And
that.
they
in one
showed it
scene.
for 30 seconds. That was weird, just a close up. But whatever. Who
Dude,
am I
it
to
was,
judge?
they were pretty good balls, man.
so
They look nice.
the image of him
Shaven.
looking like a fetus. It almost is kind of like evolution coming full circle, as his body is evolving many, many, many times over. So he is just this big, huge mass, and he is basically evolving faster per minute than anyone does in a lifetime. So it's in order to stop this, the three espers somehow are able to
I don't know what they do. They go into the glowing light, which is like a black hole or something.
they're somehow able to like make an ephemeral like pray for an ephemeral version of Akira, and he kind of shows a body form. He kind of shows a physical form for a second, and
It's
Akira,
like an entity.
yeah, and Akira causes another explosion, and that explosion absorbs Tetsuo, and
I should mention, like, at this point, he has, like, absorbed his girlfriend on accident. Like, she's dead. He can't stop.
Oh, dude, it
He's
like
screaming
splats
for
her.
help.
She gets like literally squeezed like an orange.
yeah,
like,
and he feels it, which is like the worst part. Like
he's no longer like angsty teen who's like, I'll show you who's tough. It's like, I mean, at this point he's screaming for help. He can't control his body. It's just absolute body horror.
Yeah. So the importance of that scene though is like, where did Tetsuo and the Espers go, and where did Akira go, right? And like, he even absorbed Kaneda at one point, and then like the explosion goes away, and then Kaneda's back like in Neo Tokyo, and he was like, what the fuck? And while he was in there, he was having all these memories of childhood Tetsuo and meeting him as
He
a
was
kid.
basically like Shinji when he got absorbed into the spoilers.
Yeah. But right after everything is over and it ends, right before the credits roll, it shows like this blinding light, and then all you hear is, I am Tetsuo.
Because he's ascended to like a godlike state.
He's like into another plane, and like the way I took it was, he has ascended to another plane, and he's going to create a new universe from there. And instead of saying like, I am God, I am Tetsuo. And he's like gonna start.
It ends
like
rather
separate
abruptly, the
from-
movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it ends literally right after he says that.
Like right on the climax, pretty much. There's not really much falling action.
Right.
Yeah. So it's the universe he creates or whatever with the Espers, because they cause the second explosion, and then, or the second fall of Tokyo, I guess you'd call it. But and then is the stuff that takes place with them, is that like sort of, I don't know, a parallel universe where he goes, I am Tetsuo?
It's just a prequel to Evangelion. So then there's Tokyo 3.
So it's a prequel, yeah, there's Tokyo 3, yeah.
I mean, it literally kind of is. Kind of.
That's a hot take right there.
Yeah. Prove
Yeah,
me
that's
wrong. Prove me wrong. Change
That's
my
a
mind.
35-minute YouTube theory video.
But yeah, so like, I think
Chemtrails turn the frogs gay.
The reason why, oh my god. The
Dude, he's
reason
got our
why
tinfoil hats.
The reason why that's important though is like, it's almost like, I mean, it's such a fucking iconic thing. Like that image of Tetsuo becoming like this fucking baby weird fetus blob thing.
Yeah,
is
just like a grotesque.
Yeah, he's
mask
huge.
with,
He's like the size of the stadium. Well, not quite, but he's like half the size. He's filling up the inner part of the bowl. He's filling up the bowl like a giant turd, basically.
Right, and obviously, like, you heard Nick make references to like 2 other shows before. Like, it's such like an iconic thing that people make fun of it, like, and they use it in their work because it's such like a weird fucking thing, But
yeah, it's like that scene and like the motorcycle skid scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are the 2 big ones.
And different like smaller scenes, like Kanye West had a music video with one
Kanye
part
West
of it in
is
there.
obsessed with Akira.
Yeah, he
He's
loves
an anime
anime.
fan. Yeah.
That rules.
Yeah,
I know
he
his,
replicated the scene where Tetsuo wakes up in the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah, he sucks now, and I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Look,
But yeah, Stronger was like based off Akira.
yeah.
artists
Stronger.
are all
music
crazy.
video.
Artists are not people. We need to understand that they're not people.
Which is
okay?
funny because like Stronger referenced or it sampled the Daft Punk song, and Daft Punk, they have a whole album that's an
I
anime.
don't think it just sampled it. It was like a.
It was like a cover, yeah. It was like a cover.
Right, Interstellar,
It's like
5555555.
75% Stronger.
Interstellar 55555. But let's get into some of like the sound and shit, man. Like the soundtrack is really good. The music in this movie was actually
who did the music again? It was some group that didn't do anything else.
well.
It was
They actually wrote it before
Geno
even watching it.
Yamashiragumi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they composed it before actually watching it, which is hilarious.
That's sick.
Yeah,
And
they,
then-
they created it. It's like it's a group.
But it actually like ended up working out and then they only had to
it
remix
was
a couple
great.
things.
The soundtrack is like one of my favorite parts about it.
Yeah, they're called Geno Yamashiragumi.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
a
I just said.
Japanese musical collective founded in 1974. Yeah.
80 different styles of traditional music and mixes modern and synthesizers. Mix of styles. Yeah, I'm not a musician. I can't explain it.
Yeah. Well,
Side tangent. If you guys want to hear a really good music podcast, just like an episode, Binge Mode just released the Star Wars music episode where they talk about John Williams and all that, and like
Nice,
influences
dude.
and like how his songs were like created and all that. And they actually go a little bit into like they touch on the music theory a little bit, so it's fucking sweet. Dude, Simon, you would love that. I'm gonna link that to you.
Yeah, I want to.
I'd also like to say that they are paying Anime Summit podcast
Oh yeah, we're sponsored.
$300
Yes.
to mention that.
Yeah.
And
Anyway,
before we get to our final impressions,
Yeah.
we have a word from our sponsors. Clash
anyway.
Royale. It's a
Anyway,
mobile
no, okay,
game
shut
you
up.
can
Anyway,
play.
shut up. Anyway, so like fucking
Come
the
play,
music
my
is really
lord.
good though. Like they had to change a couple things after they watched it because obviously like they wrote it before, but like it wasn't that much actually, and it ended up working out, which is
It's
actually
kind of
pretty
like how the
badass.
Pillows is related to Fooly Cooly.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
music was first, and they animated it around that. Or wait, did Akira do it the opposite way?
Well, no, well they
I don't know.
hired them to do it.
Yeah, and not only that, but also Otomo wanted to record the voice acting before the animation. Usually it's the other way around, but he
Yeah.
actually wanted
and they did
it.
the lip syncs. No, wait, no, the lip syncs were. Oh yeah. You had it right. You had it right.
Yeah, the voice recording was an adaptation for
They
the
matched the
animation.
animation-
They matched it.
They matched
To
the animation
the
to the lip
voice.
syncs instead
Yes.
of the other way around, which
Other
is
way
the way
around.
that almost all anime is done, where it's like they animate
They
it first, and then
animate
the
it
actors
first.
have to match
yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
because they don't want to spend that many frames animating a mouth.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which, like, if you want to make it, like, look natural, that's the way to do it, I suppose.
Right.
Like, the other thing I think is cool is, like, the music in this. It's all, like, very... I don't know how you describe it, but, like, very heavy percussive and stuff. But also not, like... It doesn't sound like popular music.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. I'm so tired of the standard anime music.
Right. And, like, this and, like, Ghost in the Shell...
Though,
Like
yeah,
the
they have similar
95
sounding
one.
music.
Yeah. I think that's very cool. That's always like a cool thing to do.
Well,
And
they
we talked
definitely
about the
use-
music in Ghost in the Shell in our episode of that.
They definitely use a lot of traditional Japanese instruments. So, like in Akira, they have like those like xylophone kind of instruments playing, but then also they mixed in like that 80s feel of futuristic kind of aspect. And I feel like that's what makes it so great because of the traditional Japanese instruments that they use. And it's the same thing in Ghost in the Shell. With
Yeah,
that,
like
with
those
the
are
chanting.
very, very like Japanese, I guess
Yeah.
is what you call it. Like you wouldn't be confused. Like I guess like a Blade Runner, this sort of like synth heavy thing.
Mm-hmm.
You could kind of think like, is it like a German thing? Is it like a French thing? Is it an American thing or whatever? But this is like very distinctly Japanese, which
Mm-hmm.
works with obviously the Tokyo setting.
Yeah, I agree with that. So,
Yeah, no, this film
It's tied into the themes, and it kind of it's like the umami for Shokugeki Sam, right? It brings out the flavor
the umami.
of
yeah.
the show.
Mhm.
I didn't really describe that very well, but the music
umami.
serves the scene and vice versa.
Yeah, for sure. I think
Also, that like main theme, right? Like as the first motorcycle chase is happening, he's going through like the jukebox, and it's like The Doors, Cream, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, they had. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so goofy. And then he's like, oh, okay, the clowns are out, and then he chooses one, drives off, and it's just that like very percussive like Tetsuo Kaneda.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like the right when you first see Joker from the Clown Gang. And
With his tricycle.
yeah, and he's like, it's like that song is like, oh, he, like it's like,
Oh, dude, that reminds
I mean,
me
that-
of Dragon's theme from Ping Pong a little bit.
dude, it actually
Ping Pong
kinda
the
does.
animation?
Yeah,
Oh.
it actually kind of does. Yeah,
Oh, that's the soundtrack.
yeah. Now that's the soundtrack. That's a 10. Creamy, soft, sweet. Look, if we haven't convinced you, if you're one of those people out there right now who's all like, nah, I haven't watched it, never will. It seems like blah blah, 2 hours, too long, confusing movie. Look, stop being a butt sniffer, dude.
Just watch it. It's a
Yeah.
cult classic.
It's not a cult classic, Danny. It's a mainstream classic.
It is. It's totally mainstream.
This is a pillar of anime.
a
And
pillar
pop
of
culture,
film.
pretty much. Yeah, pop culture for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
If you like art, you gotta watch it.
I guarantee there's something that you watched, whether it was a cartoon or a movie or whatever, that referenced this. And actually, one I can name right now, the movie Chronicle, the found footage
Oh.
film
Not
with
many
the 3
people
kids.
saw that though.
What?
Not many people saw that.
Are you serious, dude?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Wait, what year was this? That sounds like
Chronicle?
such a generic name. Like,
It was like
Alright.
2013, 2014.
all right.
You guys never seen it?
I've heard the word Chronicle.
Yeah. Are you talking about the Narnia movies?
Chronicles of
Are you
Narnia.
guys
Yeah, I've heard of
serious
that.
right
yeah,
now?
you should use the full title.
Dude, Chronicle's great, dude. It's
Yeah,
these 3
Chronicles
kids,
of Narnia.
and one of the fucking
Little
nerdy,
religious. From
Oh,
that
yeah,
phase.
yeah.
the
This
fucking
was
nerdy
in-
kid
yeah.
is filming everything, and they go into this cave where they find some alien shit, and they get like these crazy telepathic powers.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, who directed that?
Josh Trent. Josh Trank.
What are we talking about now?
T-R-A-N-K.
What did he do recently?
Okay,
Trank.
we got some side
Yeah,
ass
we're
movie
totally
that no
off.
one's seen.
Totally
Meanwhile,
off topic.
No, okay.
But yeah, this is like an anime where people who haven't seen it know,
It's
I guess,
definitely
tropes or like scenes from it.
the movie. Yeah, the movie definitely influenced a lot of Western films, like The Matrix, with the whole stopping
Yeah, The
the
Matrix.
bullets and everything like that too.
wait, I don't know if
can't
I think
remember.
the Matrix was the first one to do the bullet time thing, but like as a general sci-fi.
Well, it was
Influence.
influenced by Akira because Akira
Yeah.
did it first. So
Akira didn't do bullet time though. That was the Matrix.
no.
Okay.
No.
Akira
Anyway.
did the bullet stopping in midair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
but not like where he does the limbo.
Not that. I'm not talking about that though.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not talking about that. I'm
limbo,
talking
Dan.
The
about
Matrix invented the limbo.
Are you talking about the something circus?
No, I am talking about the bullet stopping. Like fucking
So when the tank
fucking
shoots
Neo-
at Tetsuo,
Yeah.
and he blocks, and the bullet stops 3 feet in front of him and explodes or whatever. In the Matrix, Neo puts his
Yeah, I
hand
know.
out, stops the bullets second in front of him, and they just fall to the ground.
Okay, well, anyway.
I believe that's what she's
That
talking
is
about.
Oh,
what- exactly
Stranger
what I'm
Things.
talking about.
Stranger Things. There you go.
All right,
That's
shut
a
up.
modern one. Psychic Kids.
Anyway, I would definitely recommend watching
yeah,
the
I
movie
guess you're
Chronicle
right.
if you've seen Akira, because it's like almost direct inspiration, pretty much of it.
I'm wondering if Giant Robo was influenced by it at all. Probably a little bit.
I bet it was. I bet you
Giant
if you
Robo
go back
really
and watch
reminds
Giant
me of
Robo
it.
now, there definitely would be like, oh,
Because like the energy source they have, it's like this big explosion.
yeah, yep. Yeah, because Giant Robo is like also post-apocalyptic a little bit too. 'Cause it's like
Vaguely, yeah.
yeah. But anyway,
I
guys,
don't know. I haven't seen it.
you guys should just watch it. Don't be a little bitch. And then you should, honestly, the manga and the movie are 2 different things. One won't ruin the other. Just do both right now.
Yeah.
Do it right now.
I read it when Sam and I did the Akira for the manga book club. I was in awe by it, and just by talking about it right now makes me want to watch it. Read it again.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, and also, JP, I'll give you 10 seconds to shout out anything you got going on right now.
Nothing.
Nice.
But what I will say is cool is
Nice.
I like the short, I guess, biker gang member with a tie who survives. He's a cool
Oh,
character.
that dude where his bike's on fire at the end? Yeah.
Yeah. He's sort of just like a nobody, but he ends up making it. I like him.
He's an inspiration to us all.
Yep. We all hope to make it like he does, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe one day I'll
His
own a
name
tie.
His name is Kai. If you wanted
Kai?
to know, yeah, Kai.
Kai and K
Yep.
in Canada.
Yeah, maybe they should get together.
Kai, K, and Conrad and Cowrie.
They
Known
can yell
as-
out their own name.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing that we forgot to mention. That literally, Tetsuo and Kaneda pretty much just shout out their names 50 billion times.
That was
throughout the
that
movie.
Yeah,
Naruto and
yeah.
Sasuke.
Cool.
They got their
Script.
inspo from that.
For sure. Yeah.
Tetsuo Kaneda. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, you should fucking watch it. It's on Hulu. It's on. I think it's on
Tubi
Amazon.
TV.
It's on Tubi
Tubi
TV.
TV is,
I mean,
is
just
actually very
download
convenient.
it.
Yeah.
Don't like sign up for some dumb thing for it. Just download it. It's free.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, you can watch it on desktop or you can download the app. Yep.
Yeah. Tubi TV is
Better-
completely.
it's
How to
better
use
quality.
torrents, you can find
And
it.
it's torrents. It's better. It's like in between the quality of torrents and like the unofficial streaming sites, because like those sites have it at a lower resolution. So I would not recommend watching this in anything other than like the top quality.
Yeah, I bought the Blu-ray, and I think when I bought it, it was like $10 or $12. So
Yeah, you can. It's pretty affordable. It's been released.
I
a
think
number of times.
I just checked the Amazon on Amazon. You can get it for $15 the Blu-ray. So
Yeah, that's not too bad.
it's worth having in your collection even just as a film for sure.
yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful film.
Yeah.
and like
The animation alone,
On-
like this is probably like a top 3 anime like film in terms of animation. Maybe
I mean,
number
cut
1,
out,
honestly,
like,
but
Miyazaki films because they're sort of on like a tier.
no. This
No.
is better than most of them. If you look at it, like you gotta ignore some of the character designs. Like the Otomo character designs have like the same face going on. I guess
True.
Miyazaki does too. all their faces look the same. But
I
like
guess maybe I just have like a soft heart for Miyazaki films.
yeah, like you might like the style better. But this has like just more shit going on. It's like this, Redline, and like maybe
This is
Princess
for
Mononoke or
grown-ups.
Spirited Away. They're all up
I
there.
think Spirited Away probably.
And just in terms of animation, yeah.
yeah,
It's for grown-ups. No kids allowed.
it is. It's absolutely not for kids.
Yeah, Danny.
Whoa, excuse me.
If we can close on one thing, one, it's a great movie. You should watch it, and you should rewatch it. But also, how cool of a tagline. Neo Tokyo is about to explode.
That is a sick tagline.
Oh, I'm drawn in. So cool. And then like the motorcycle's cool too.
The motorcycle's
It's
okay.
it's got a sticker that says Canon, like the camera. That's cool.
That
There's
means-
also a quick shout out
my
of
life.
The
Have fun editing some.
the manga magazine that Akira was published. During the scene with the mob riots and Kei was walking through the people, there's a guy with a shirt that says Young on it, and that was a tribute to
Young Jump Weekly.
Young Jump Weekly.
That's cool.
And then there's also a clip in the Michael Jackson music video for Scream. Okay, there you go. God, fucking A.
Let's just give out random facts.
Yeah, I know. Just like I'm trying to like
Random facts,
fucking
quick.
get out of here.
They
That
invented
being-
50 new colors for this movie because it was filmed at night.
I'm
Akira was
Sam.
filmed before a live studio audience.
I'm Sam. That's Kaneda. That's Kei. That's Tetsuo. And this has been the Anime Summit podcast.
And I'm the little freak psycho kid with the blue skin.